Well, hey Gundam Maniacs, welcome to another episode of Gundam Explained. So we're going to be taking a look at Gundam Evolve Episode 5, but did you know it was written by Tomino and he pretty much changed the ending of Char's Counterattack? Let's dive in, but before we do, if you think this is a cool video, give it a like, and if you haven't, please subscribe. Check the links below in the description. There's ways you can support the channel if you're interested in that, or join our Discord. We have a lot of fun over there. But yeah, let's dive into this one. So, we all may be familiar with Char's Counterattack, right? It's a very interesting entry in the Gundam Universal Century timeline because I think it's an awesome movie on one hand, but then on the other, sometimes the plot just is kind of like okay, and then that's where like Char kind of turns since Zeta, and you're like, well, what is this about? But I think I've pretty much gotten over it. But one main thing about it, and let me know if you agree in the comments below, but like Quess Pariah is such an annoying character. It's like when she comes on screen and it's like, I just wish she wasn't here, but that almost plays into the point of her character. And I think that's a very interesting topic too, because when it comes to writing characters, which I'm learning Tomino is very good at this, he writes characters in a way that make you feel this sort of kind of discomfort or something's off or something where it's more realistic in terms of characters acting in a way that's unsettling instead of making it fit a mold for a story. So in Char's Counterattack, okay, so Quess and Gyune launch and they immediately sense Amuro's presence. Quess launches her funnels, but Amuro easily destroys them. Gyune, Quess, and Amuro fight, with Amuro managing to damage Quess's Alpha. On the Rakayum, Hathaway senses Quess getting increasingly insane and steals a Jagan to go and save her. Chan grabs the damaged Rigazi and launches to save Amuro, killing Ostenage while launching. Amuro manages to take out Gyune while Bright launches the last of the missiles that Char intercepts. Hathaway eventually finds Quess and begs her to stop. Chan arrives and Quess tries firing at her, only for the Psycho Frame to deflect the blast. The Psycho Frame sample has the Rigazi fire grenades to protect Hathaway, and they hit the Alpha, killing Quess. In a fit of rage, Hathaway fires on the defenseless Rigazi, killing Chan. So that's pretty morbid of an ending, and it's pretty sad, but it's almost at the same time like kind of the realities of war. But let's see what Gundam Evolve 5, called RX-93 New Gundam, does that's a little different. First of all, I see this and I think, is this like the new type powers doing its thing? It's all because you say things like that. So this is Quess in her fit of rage. Notice the CGI here. We've noticed with the Gundam Evolve how the CGI looks. It's almost like, you know, PS1 era CGI. But in this, they kind of change it up a bit. It's almost like there's a little bit of cell shading going on in order to kind of maybe look at more like animation, but it just makes it look pretty modern in general. Like, yeah, look at that. I think that looks great, actually. Title card this far in. Of all the stupid. And it is the original Amuro voice actor doing the voice. So it looks like Amuro is sensing this and he's moving in, and then it's not my fault. So it's like Quess is already feeling guilt for her actions. She's saying, I hate everyone, and it looks like the Alpha Zero is kind of like separating in pieces, and it looks like, is that Psycho Frame energy radiating off of it? That's pretty cool art for Amuro, actually. Yeah, looks really neat. Modern, again. You ever stop to consider his feelings? So yeah, there's this like back and forth of like trying to like talk Quess into being good. So Quess is still trying to kill Amuro. Amuro is shooting her bits. You know, I thought it was awesome in the previous episode to see the Dendrobium fighting, but this is really cool artwork for the Alpha Zero and the new Gundam doing the fighting in this new animation. It's only natural you'll kill people by mistake, even kill your own family. I'm not that stupid, but is he talking about killing her dad accidentally? And I guess Amuro's got her in a shield. So Hathaway, I guess he's saying Hathaway isn't dead, so I guess he heard something from Hathaway, and he's telling her to kind of make her happy. It's kind of a weird way to approach this. You mustn't get angry. It's a bad look for you. It's almost like Tomino is apologizing for how he wrote Quess in Char's Counterattack. So it's like she's so willing to save Hathaway. Totally change of character. Considering how her feelings were for Char at that moment. Okay, this is pretty cool, where it's like removing all of its other armor pieces and becomes just like a core fighter, essentially. All right, and that's actually it. Very interesting. So let me read from the wiki what we just saw here. So Universal Century Quess apparently used the Alpha Zero to severely damage Hathaway Noah's Jagan. Afterwards, Moray in his RX-93 Gundam has a new type reaction to her and confronts her. He accuses her of not understanding Hathaway's feelings, but Quess doesn't listen and attacks him. However, Amuro is able to trap her inside the fin funnel's beam barriers. Afterwards, they hear Hathaway, who tells Quess not to be angry, and Amuro tells Quess that Hathaway isn't dead. Thanks to this and Amuro's words, she calms down and she finally uses the Alpha Zero to rescue Hathaway. This episode shows a bright alternative scenario for Quess Pariah from Char's Counterattack. This episode was written by Yoshiyuki Tomino, whose change of outlook used this animation to give Quess a happy ending as an alternative to her death in the movie. So I find it completely fascinating and awesome that Tomino wrote an alternate ending for not necessarily Char's Counterattack, but specifically Quess. It's interesting that this name of episode from Gundam Evolve was just called New Gundam, which I don't think it was really about the New Gundam, unless it had to do with the psychoframe technology in the New Gundam allowed Amuro to have this greater sense, to be able to sense Hathaway and talk to Quess, to talk her into a completely change of character. Because it really is a complete change of character for her when, like we said before, she's really annoying in Char's Counterattack. This changes her character. And in fact, I think that could have still happened in the movie, and we could have still got that same ending that we got from Char's Counterattack, but almost redeeming Quess. Does she need to be redeemed? I don't really know. I think, again, she's a very annoying character, and as we see Gigi in the Hathaway movie, it's almost like we're getting the sense from her again, especially how she's acting, but we're now seeing it in a way where Hathaway is unable to really speak on what happened with Quess that's causing him to act in the way he is with Gigi. So it's all very interesting, especially how Hathaway original story 2 was written by Tomino. So, I like this stuff anyway, with Gundam Evolve getting kind of these sometimes alternate stories or additions to lore. It actually changes up for me week to week when I'm watching it to see what we get. But curious what you think. Isn't it very interesting for Tomino to kind of rewrite an alternate ending for Quess? Is that more of him admitting that maybe Quess was an annoying character, and while Char's Counterattack is cool to watch, Quess is just one of the many plot lines that kind of make it a questionable view if you're taking the story seriously. Anyway, let me know what you guys think below. I gotta say, I thought the animation was awesome, seeing the Alpha Zero kind of dismantle its armor to be just a jet or a space fighter. I was gonna say core fighter, but it would still be really big. Anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. But thanks for watching, guys. We'll talk later.